Hello, welcome back to the Spider's Web, and in this video we're going to be starting using these little beauties. These are the ones I opened in my last unboxing video. I'm saying last. When I shot this video, it was my last unboxing video. It might not be in months to come, but there we are. So we're going to be painting this chappy from Arena Rex. So the paints we want, we're going with the darkest colours first. Oops, that's the toner, so I'll put the toner there. That's the way, because we don't want that one. We also want the dark skin wash, and if we need anything else we'll go from there, but these are the ones we're using so far just for the skin, let's put it that way. And I'm keeping these ones separate. Now, a slightly different way of doing this, I'm not doing the usual one with the palette cam. We're going slightly different because I can. That and the fact that at the moment I'm having trouble trying to synchronise sound and video on the editing software that I'm using. I've got in touch with them and I'm waiting to hear back, but so far I can't do it, so I'm doing it in one video just like this. So bear with me while I just give this a good shake on my little vortex mixer thingy. Okay, so that's that. So we have our dark skin so that's the darker one. If we need any more we can go back to it. That's onyx skin, and then we go with mocha skin. Okay, so again we have the mocha skin, which we'll pop on as well. There we go. And that's our first highlight. And then we have the tiger's eye skin, which is our ultimate highlight for this. I'll pop that on there. Now again, these have all been given a good shake, and this all seem like nice consistency, but let's crack on and see what they're actually like to use. So I'll just dip my brush into some water, give it a shake, and there we are. Now, as we said in the unboxing video, these are done as like a triad of colours. So we'll see how they look once we finish with them, but this is looking really nice so far. The coverage seems as good as my painters usually are, and they're going on quite smoothly. I do like Army Painter paints. And make sure that gets covered. There we go. Now I'm keeping these paints separate from the other ones because I don't want them mixing, as it were, because I will get all conflusticated. So I'm going to keep these in the trays, and I think it might have been a wise idea not to have glued the shield on, well, before I painted them, but never mind. I was going to say we live and learn, but obviously I don't. I was too busy. I was having so much fun putting these together that I didn't think about the painting aspect. But never mind. We'll get these done. So these work in as a triad of colours, so they don't necessarily have to be used, as far as I understand, they don't necessarily have to be used the top three darkest and the medium three darkest and the lightest. But we can test these out. There we go. As this camera's sunk again. Keeps doing that, and I don't know why. Bear with me a second while I just try and sort this. There we go. I don't think we're going to get any more trouble with it now. Okay, so I think that is it. No, it's not. There's a little bit at the top there that I haven't done. Okay. So, while I'm waiting for that to dry, we can move on to a different part of the Mini. Oh dear. And where are you? Where are you? Where are you? There you are. Rough iron, and we're going to be doing on the metal areas with this, so it's shaky time again. And I don't know whether I showed it yet. We're using rough iron. I did show it you because I said it was for the, we were doing the metal areas, didn't I? Okay, so I do like this for metal, you may have noticed. I try to put this on when I'm priming metal because I think it looks nicer than using just a flat colour. There's still a metallic behind it. So if you use a non-metal metallic colour, like a dark brown or whatever, it I don't think it looks as nice, but that's personal opinion. It is very subjective, and what I like and how I like to paint may not work well for you, but by the same yardstick, you know, this is my preference, and just because I do it this way doesn't mean to say I'm wrong. It just means to say I do it a different way than somebody else could possibly do it. Now I know there's certain rules that you say should follow, but I'm one of these people, rules were meant to be broken. And I make up my own rules because these are my minis. Well, these particular ones aren't, but I'm painting them as though they are, because if I do that, I try to do it the best as I can. I'm not sure as to whether or not this will be a full metal shield or whether it be wood, but there's no grain on it at all. So I'm going to do it as though it's full metal, and it can be, I can do some reading up and looking at what other people have done and make my decision later on. I can always go over this paint. But as I say, I'll have a look at what other people have done and make a decision a bit later. Okay, so that's all the metal areas done. Next job is this loincloth, and for that I'm going to use, when I can find it, there we are, leather brown. Again, shaky time. It may not be the quietest, and it's certainly not the most expensive vortex mixer on the market, but it works. That's all I'm bothered about. There we go, so leather brown, and we'll just put this all over the loincloth. To do is to come back in with the rough iron and paint out this buckle thing. I'll do that first, and then while I'm waiting for that to dry, I can do the rest of the leather straps. And here we go. That's that done. What we can do is add a little bit of red into this leather brown. Yeah, I have a little bit. We can do a Wazdaka red. So we just pop a little bit of this Wazdaka red on the palette, and then we can add some of this leather brown to it, just to add a little bit of colour and tonal difference. Let's add a touch of this flesh colour in there as well to darken it. There we go, that's a different colour to add to this. I'm going to use this for the leather straps here. There we go, and try and get it as neatly as possible on these straps. The last thing we want to do is having to paint over everything again because we've just given this time to dry, so we don't want to have to come along. So they've got that little bit of colour there, and should I put it anywhere else? You know what? I think that square bit there is also leather. There we go. And that's that. And as I say, it just adds that bit of colour that draws your eye to the Mini. So we'll do that with that one. And next, back into the leather brown, and these, I'm hoping you can see what I'm doing here, these little straps here for the wrist armour. There we are. That is about right. And let's just make sure that that's okay. We'll come back and do the sandals later on and the feathers, but I think that is everywhere covered. Not quite. That is everywhere covered. So now, and I've had a thought, I'm going to use this leather brown on somewhere else. I'm going to use it on these feathers. Now it's not going to look leather brown by the time I've finished, it's just the base coat. So just dab into there. That's okay. We have a white CD. I did forget any of them left, but obviously I have. So I'll use that instead. So again, we're using the dark skin wash. Give it a little bit of a shake. We don't need to go mad with this because it's a wash, just give it a good shake. Put a little bit out, and then we'll go over all the skin areas. And the leather strapping, we'll go over that as well. There we go. Right, we're back and we're dry. So let's crack on then. Next thing we need to do is re-establish the base coat, avoiding the shadow details. So we'll just add this, what you call it, we'll just add this colour to the raised areas. There we go. That's probably I thought this might be one of the better ones to use. Oops, I was watching something on TV that's making a chuckle, as you might guess, if you can hear her in the background. Oh yeah, but yeah, as I was saying, I picked this mini because I thought it might be a very good one to use for detail, but the muscle texture is very soft on it. It's not quite as refined as I thought it might have been, which is unfortunate, but never mind, we'll get there. There we go. That is about it that I can do for that. Next step, after washing my brush out, is going into the next latest step. That's quite watery. I don't know whether I just diluted it a bit too much. I'm not sure as to whether or not that is a very watery paint, or whether it's just because my brush was too wet, or I just didn't shake it enough. But I'll just put, there's nothing really coming off that. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll get this out again. Use that one and I'll give it another shake. It might be because it's just been left on my wet palette for a while. But let's add a splash of it on there and see if this helps. So it could just be because it's been on the wet palette for a bit. Yeah. It's either a case of being on my wet palette for too long, or I brought too much water into it when I rinsed my brush out. But it seems to be better now. Arguably not that much better. I think we may have found a very watery paint, which is not what we want at this stage. But we'll see how we go with it. There we go, because it's not actually going onto the mini. I think what I might do is coming out more like a glaze than an actual layer. What I could do is try with the mixing medium and see if that helps.